What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and today we're going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag. Hello my loves, so welcome to this video. I am so excited for mid-year stats. I didn't end up doing any for the first quarter of the year. I took 2 weeks of April off, so normally I would do a check-in. So this is all the updated for where we're at, and I just want to credit Ellie from Earl Grey Books and Shami, I'll leave their channels linked below, for creating this amazing tag. I do love that Ellie had like an adapted version in 2016, and now it's sort of become a conglomerate of just all different types and readings and things. So I have taken the original questions plus Gavin's version that he's mushed together for this year. But if you're more of a mood reader, I'd say Jessie from Jessie the Reader has amended this tag to sort of fit more of a mood reader vibe. Sorry if you want to follow through Jessie's, if you're more of a mood reader, or Gavin's or the original. Our tastes have changed and times have changed. So let's dive into the questions. The first one I really like, and this is an amended question, and that is, how has your 2023 reading year gone so far? And I want to say, oddly, I am going to do my goals check-in and then talk through my stats for this 6 months. I'm very surprised at where my reading's gone, and whilst I feel like I've been picking up things I'm excited to read, I also don't feel like I've read a lot of things that I love. I'm also getting more critical with my reading, so to describe my reading year so far, I'm going to put it as oddly, and I think that is a good sum up. And question number 2 is, what is the best book you've read this year? Whilst it wasn't hard for me to pick, I realized just how few sit in my soul books I have read, and the ones that have had a lasting impact on me. I'm going with a choice that I just, when I read it, no, I know that there are better written books or more critically acclaimed that I have read and loved, but I'm going with The Malevolent 7 by Sebastian de Castell. I had so much fun with this. It was perfect in what I needed. It was dark and gritty, but not ridiculously gory. Our characters are morally grey, and I just have so much love for these new characters. I am really hoping this isn't a standalone and actually the first of a series, because I want to see where these characters go. I adored where the magic system went, how it was created, and I wasn't confused or lost at any point in this. I love Sebastian's writing, so I wasn't surprised that I had so much enjoyment come out of this book. I know that this is not, I'll talk about the best sequel I've read, and you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck, how is that not your best book? But for me, it's vibes, and Sebastian writes the vibes that my soul agrees with. So the next question is the best sequel you've read so far this year, and that's Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. I can fully admit that this is technically probably a better book than The Malevolent 7. Like, Octavia E. Butler is a pure fucking genius, and Sebastian is an amazing writer, but in terms of literary merit, this definitely has more of that. However, vibes. So this is definitely the best sequel that I've read, though. It was fantastic in continuing on the story from Parable of the Sower. It was heart-wrenching, it was concerning, it just, there were so many things about this that just so concerning. There was a lot of real world references for current day, but this is set in the future and was written in the 90s, and it's just so beautiful. So I do recommend reading this duology. It is amazing, and Octavia's writing is just, oh, so superb. Best sequel I've read this year. Question number 4 is my favorite reread of the year, and that has to be The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. I believe I've reread 2 books this year, and this just wholeheartedly, I had so much love for this, and it was really nice refreshing myself after having read so many other Trojan War retellings with 1,000 Ships and Electra. There's another one that I'm forgetting. This just really cemented how much I love Pat's writing, and the fact that they do this story so much justice with such minimal information on the characters that they choose to follow, and I'm so excited to just continue on with the series. So, favorite reread. Question number 5 is the genre you have been loving / reading the most. So I will get more into this during my stats video, but in terms of genre that I've been reading the most, Finally, fantasy has taken the lead over sci-fi. Finally. So I've read 29 fantasy books and 23 sci-fi. Back on my fantasy love and having a grand old time with it. In terms of the genres I've loved the most, I do have dystopian and magical realism, and they rate overall higher on Storygraph for when doing the breakdown for my stats. So my highest is speculative fiction, which was Parable of the Talents, and then video games, which was the final fantasy book that I read, magical realism, which was A Chorus Rises and Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and then we have contemporary as a 4.5, dystopian as a 4.5, essays, LGBT, and then romance. But because I haven't read many, or I haven't read as many, fantasy is 14 on the list because I read so many more. For sci-fi is at number 24. But we'll chat more about all the genres that I've read and the stats for those in an upcoming video. Question number 6 is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Rainbow Grey, Battle of the Skies. This is the third and final book in the trilogy, and I really want to finish off this series because I feel like it's going to be so wholesome and sweet, and I'm just really going to enjoy where it goes for this last book. So it's come in and I'm like, yep, cool. Straight on my shelves, please. Question number 7 is my most anticipated release for the second half of the year, and that would be Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake. I love the Brightfall series so much, and I'm so excited to get the third and final book in this companion series. I'm very, yeah, I love Iris in Delilah and Astrid, and just very, very excited for her to have their own book, and yes. There's also Cruel Seduction by Katie Robert, but knowing my luck, I'll probably put it on the back burner for another 6 months. I did read Radiant Sin as it came in, which I was very chuffed with myself, but I doubt that's gonna happen in the future. But that's also on the list. I don't really have too many other new releases that I'm actually following. I've really taken a back step while focusing on my shelves this year. Question number 8 is the biggest disappointment of 2023 so far. And it's actually 12% Dread by Emily McGovern. I talked about this in my June wrap up, as well as the mini TBR Star Hop vlog that I read this in, because it just was a shit show. I don't feel like it did what I expected to. I thought it was supposed to be cute and funny, and that's probably my own fault for not looking into this more, but I had heard their previous graphic novel was really funny, and then I love My Life as a Background Slytherin. I love that, so I think it just tried to be too smart for its own good and didn't work. So I was very disappointed that I didn't love this, because I feel like it's a great concept to discuss and do in graphic novel form. Just missed the mark, and the ending was just so fucking weird. It lost me. So very sad that this is my biggest disappointment, because I genuinely thought I was gonna love it. Question number 9 is biggest surprise so far. If you've seen my June wrap up, hi! I was utterly shocked at how much I enjoyed this series. I genuinely thought I was gonna hate it, and that it just was going to be a waste of time, and I was gonna slug through it and then not get anything from it. What I got from it was a fuck ton of fun. I loved reading this, and I fell so quickly into the world. It wasn't funny. I really adore the characters, the plot twists. Some of them I saw, but for the most part, I think I went in blind. I didn't think about it too hard as I was reading it to go, oh, this is probably gonna follow this fucking narrative that I've seen in YA fantasy throughout the duration of time. I didn't think anything of that, I just read it. So every time something happened, I was like, oh! And it was a great experience. It was so much fun, and I'm so happy that I binge read the series in a month. I'm also really proud of that fact, and yeah, I'm surprised at how well it went, because I didn't expect it to go well at all. Question number 10 is a favorite new author that can either be new to you or debut, and I sort of struggled because I've been continuing on with series that I've read before, so the authors aren't really new to me. So for that, I'm going with E. Wamheim, who is the author of the Wild, which we read for the Reading Wren's Queer or Not book club. I feel like there is so much potential in their writing. I don't know if they do have anything else out. I'm pretty sure they do. I haven't read anything else of theirs yet, but I feel like with the way that they've done their whimsy in this, it's going to be something that I really vibe with, and I'm going to enjoy what they have to offer. I'm not sure exactly what other things they're going to put out, and if it is down this whimsical route, but I'll be very curious to pick up and see if their other stuff continues to propel them as a high 4-star to 5-star reads. Question number 11, and that is newest fictional crush. Patroclus from Wicked Beauty. Yes. Usually this is going to be a Katie Robert because I love their characters. I've never really liked Helen's character, so I wasn't fawning over her, but Patroclus is the nerdy but subtle strength that I adore, and so just, yeah. So I really I loved his character in this. I love that he is the perfect combination of sweet and strength and brain, and just, I love it, I love it, I love him. It's beautiful. He also reminds me of Ash, so makes sense. Question number 12 is newest favorite character, and I definitely had two. For that, I'm not going to get the book again, but Corrigan from the Malevolent Seven was a high contender. He is a raging thunder mage and it's glorious. But the other character that has just really nestled into my heart is actually Brit Marie from Brit Marie Was Here by Frederick Blackman. This had so many emotions. I adore Brit's story. I found their strength and just little oddities to be endearing. Their growth throughout just really impressed me. I really had such a soft spot for them, and I felt so attached to the character, and it was so lovely just having a book that was about them. There was the underlying plot, but it's her story. It was brilliant, and when you're just focusing on a singular character and they're a person that you can fall in love with, it definitely hits home. So question number 13 is a book that made you cry, but Anxious People, also by Frederick Blackman. Blackman is cementing themselves as a favourite author that I have read from them previously. Anxious People, I didn't expect where this went. I know that not everyone's going to vibe with it, whereas Brit Marie will probably be more universally loved, whereas this is a bit more odd. But I loved it. I thought the stories of everyone that we were following were really beautiful, and then there were moments that were so heart-wrenching that I was just like sobbing. It was either this or Brit Marie. I was doing a jigsaw and just sobbing my eyes out while listening to the audiobook. I definitely cried in both of these. Question number 14 is a book that made you happy. Again, I could go with a lot that I've already mentioned, but I'm gonna go with The Brain Is Not Always Right. This is by Scott Stewart. And this is a little picture book that I read at Ash's work. It's really endearing. It's definitely saying there are times to be fearful and there are times to not listen to the logic side and just enjoy life. Enjoy making music, enjoy seeing the beauty in nature and not be worried about every little thing. I think there's a value in having caution and teaching kids to be cautious, but not to let fear dominate their life. The main reason it makes me happy, aside from the fact that it's fucking adorable and the illustrations are gorgeous, is the fact that it makes me happy knowing that kids are out there reading this book now and getting to learn the messages that it's presenting, which I wish I had as a kid, because I am so fearful of so many things, and I feel if I had had this picture book around, I might not be as bad. Obviously, every individual is different and not every kid's going to take away the same narrative that I've taken away from it as an adult reading a picture book. But I just think there's so many opportunities for parents to have wonderful conversations with their kids with this, and the kids can just explore it themselves as well. The language is not complicated, so if they have a decent reading level, they'll be good. It just makes me happy knowing that, and gives me the warm and fuzzies just thinking of how many other kids are going to be able to enjoy life and not be ruled by fear. Not going to be a blanket fix for everyone, but those that might be teetering on the edge might just be able to come back. Question number 15 is the most beautiful book you bought this year. I have 4 stunners because they're all in different ways. Mysteries of Thor Manor by Margaret Rogerson. I just love this beautiful little piece. Then in a different capacity, I have Watering the Soul by Courtney Pepinell. I love Courtney Pepinell's illustrations on their cover. It's just so cute. And I think the simplistic nature of the cover is absolutely stunning. And then it's so cute! Then Ash's copy of A Day of Fallen Night, which is so reflective. I love it. I adore this cover. I think it is absolutely stunning. I don't know where my eye wants to go to first, but it's also textured, and it feels so good. It looks so beautiful. I love this book as well, and now I feel like it does it justice. And then it sort of goes to the orangey on the back, and it's, oh, beautiful. And then finally, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Not really for this, but for this. I don't mind the 4-sectioned cover, but I love the sprayed edges and the stenciling with the periodic table, as well as doing the end pages as that as well. Just stunning. They're my 4 beautiful books. Question number 16 are what are the books you need to read by the end of the year? all of them. I'll talk more about it in my goals video on Friday, I think is the order I'm doing it in. I need to finish my advent challenge. I need to continue with series. I need to finish my rainbow shelf. I need to read all my buddy reads. I need to be with Bookstara. The Earth Children's, if I don't DNF that. There is a lot that I have on my plate and I'm not mad at it, but there's a lot I still need to get to. So I'm not stressed, you're stressed. Question number 17 is a favorite video you've made so far this year, and I've got two. The first is my straight to queer video. The concept makes me laugh, but now that I've found the title to that, I love trying to come up with stuff and getting to collaborate with Cara and Ren to just sort of see what they also think was really fun to sort of just be able to mush it all together, and I had a lot of fun with it. The other one is not really the video because it's a 12-hour live show that I did for my birthday, and it was fucking chaos and I loved it, and I'm so appreciative to all the motherfuckers that joined me on it because you are truly legends, and it was so much fun. I know I haven't done lives much this year, but just having that one has really cemented it's so many great memories. I'm pretty sure we scarred Gem from Bookish Gems because Erin's a legend and I'm so sorry. I broke everyone as well, so that was fun. Sorry Ren, I love you. And I feel like from that live I've had a few offshoots of ideas which I'm following up with, and it was so much fun. So I'm so glad that I get to spend my time with a bunch of chaotic individuals, and they're all fabulous. So I'll leave both those videos linked below. I definitely recommend going to the live show to grab the channels for everyone that was involved because they are all wonderful, brilliant people as well. Question number 18 is a video you thought would flop but did well, and that's actually my mini TBR Star Hop vlog. I don't do vlogs. I really struggle with keeping the consistency of filming throughout a designated period of time. I am forgetful as all fuckery. I didn't think it was going to be that interesting, and I was also filming 2 other vlogs simultaneously throughout that process. I expected it to just do okay, but it's done really well and I'm really happy. It's a video that I'm really proud of because it was something a little bit different. I know people like vlogs, I just don't do them because hi, I'm chaos, but I'm glad that people have been receptive to it because I had a lot of fun. Question number 19 is any upcoming videos you're excited to make? I'm so excited for my mid-year shit, like so we will have my goals check-in, then we're gonna have my mid-year stats, and then we'll look over my series diaries for this year so far. But I also have an upcoming readathon that I'm going to be announcing for September. The announcement video will go up in August, and I'm really excited to finalize the concept for that and film the announcement video because I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. You guys might hurt, but that's a you problem. Question 20 is any channel goals before the end of the year? Not really. I'm gonna go into my channel goals when I'm talking through my goals check-in on Friday, so that will cover those. I want to keep having fun. That's really the main priority when it comes to my channel, and sort of just take the time for myself. I already decided not to keep to 2 uploads a week if I didn't have any video ideas, and so I haven't. There have been only weeks that I've posted 1 video. I don't think there's been many weeks that I haven't posted any aside from April that I intentionally took off 2 weeks, but aside from that, I want to keep having fun, and I'll talk more about it when we get to it. And question 21 are new creators you've been loving. So the first is cosplays and books. I found them through Adventure-a-thon discussions, I think, and then I found out that they have a TBR jar, which I adore. They're still a relatively new channel, so there aren't many videos out yet, but I feel like they're really good at articulating their thoughts in their wrap-ups, and the TBRs are just a lot of fun to watch as well. Or maybe it was Brie, because it's Brie's little sister. I can't remember what video Brie mentioned them in though. Next up is the Hexed Library, and I found them after looking for TBR 0 challenges. I'm not doing that myself, but I'm very impressed and really enjoy watching people who are trying to get their backlist down. And the Hex Library has a whole setup where they talk through their current and then their backlist and what their goals are for the year. I just found it really interesting. The fact that they're exceeding their goals is astounding to me, and I'm very just in awe of their ability to read off their TBR. Really enjoying their content, and they do also planner videos as well, which I absolutely adore. So they have a lot of glorious vibes that I like watching. And then we have Alison on a book break, and I'd known about Alison's channel prior to this year, and I knew that they had chaotic TBR games and quite a few of them. I've fallen in love with their Sims TBR videos, as well as the utter chaos that they did for the Aurelium Magical Readathon, which is still ongoing. I just kudos to them. I'm tempted to try it myself, but shit, I think I'd die. They ended up time blocking for particular classes, their books were randomized, the times were randomized, fucking chaos, and we know I am just loving every minute of chaos that anyone presents. So Alison is probably on a higher chaos level than I am, and I am in awe and aspire to be there. That was the first of my mid-year videos, and I'm so excited for the upcoming. I love reflecting on shit. I just love this tag. I feel like it really gives a nice snapshot of the year so far, and I really find it so valuable to just take a moment, have a look at our reading and see where we're at. I think for me, the most important question was how my reading year has gone this year, because it really made me reflect on, it hasn't actually been an outstanding year, but I'm feeling really good about it. So what the fuck does that mean? Let me know in the comments how you would describe your reading year so far, and also what was your biggest surprise for this year. I'm still shocked. Let me know if you want to answer another one, feel free. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video.